Hi everyone, and welcome back to SmartCAD Studio. Today we are just going to be going over the tools that we weren't able to cover last time. So offset, trim, fillet, and lastly layers. So let's get right into it. So first things first is we're going to start off with our polyline and we're going to go ahead and draw out a plan. So this plan, I'm just making it randomly. You can make it like mine, or you can also do a different plan. It doesn't really matter. Now that our plan is finished, we're going to go ahead and use the tool offset to create the thickness of our walls. How you use offset is by just entering the value that you want it to offset by, clicking on the object, and then pressing enter again, and bam, there you go. Now you have a thickness of the object that you just created, so you don't have to like redraw it from a certain distance. It makes it easier. So now I just want to show you example. Since our object's in polyline, I'm going to go ahead and explode these lines so it allows me to move them because I just want to show you how we use the tool fillet. So I'm going to go ahead and separate these lines right now, and we're going to use our tool fillet. So fillet, say you have open corners like this, fillet quickly puts those corners together. So you see we have many different types of fillets, but this fillet just allows the corners to connect. So if you have open corners, it just connects them quicker instead of having to extend the lines. Now we're going to move on to using our tool trim. So I'm going to go ahead and extend the lines here. And what trim does is it quickly gets rid of those lines. So say you have like extended lines all over the place, trim just quickly gets rid of them instead of having to move the lines back and forth. It can come really in handy, especially when you're doing a lot of plans. It definitely comes in handy and makes things easier. Now I want to go ahead and move over to our layers because layers are very complicated, so there's a lot of things to them. So first we're going to click on layer properties, and you see it's automatically just gonna have its own layer 0. We never want to use layer 0 because it's gonna be very important in the future for our layouts and when you want to print out your project, it's going to be very difficult to do that. So we're going to click the little like sun, the little like it looks like a sunburst, and that's how you create a new layer. We're going to go ahead and enter our layer name. You could choose color. Usually I choose colors from like the main section because they're 1, 2, and 3, so they're easier to find when you're printing out stuff. I prefer not to use the other layers that like have number 200 and stuff because it's harder to find. We're also going to choose our line weight. And for line weight, there is different types of line weights. Usually, if there's certain line weights you can use. I mean, you can use different ones, but for me, I use zero point 0.9 for thin, zero point 0.5 for thick, or for medium, and 0.30 for thick. And now after that, I'm going to show you an example of another layer. So it's just the same thing. You could choose whatever line weight you want, but there's certain line weights for certain things like carpentry, thin lines, sections are thick lines, um, medium lines is like auxiliary lines. So those things like that. And we'll go more into layers as we continue, um, as I continue making videos. So as you could see, I was able to change the layer, and now I'm just creating a new plan just to show you how these layers kind of work, how the color changes, which definitely makes it easier to see your plan in action. You can see which things are carpentry, which things is structure, and so forth. Now I'm going to go ahead and offset the walls as we did to the other plan so it looks a bit more realistic. And I also want to show you, even if you do draw in another layer, say you draw another layer, say like layer 0, how we have this plan ends in layer 0, but we want to change it to another layer. Just click the entire project and click the entire project, and then you could just change the layer, and then bam, it's in that layer now. So that's how you can just quickly change anything into a different layer. If it's not on the right layer that you first drew it in, it can always be changed at the end of the day. So that also is very useful. Now you are no longer clueless in AutoCAD. Next week we will be going more in depth. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to like, make sure to subscribe, and I'll be seeing you guys next week.